forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. 800-798-9512. That's 800-798-9512.
When you want to know what's going on here or across the country, like and follow 920 News Now on Facebook and look for us in your feed. Staying in touch with news that matters to you on your schedule with 920 News Now.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced. Call now. If the lines are busy, please call back.
Call the Home Warranty Hotline now at 800-870-6217. 800-870-6217. 800-870-6217. That's 800-870-6217.
Lower your car payment today. Lower your car payment today. Yes, you heard us right. You can lower your car payment right now by making this free call and save up to $1,400 a year on your current car payment. Think about your current car payment right now. What's that costing you per year? Now think about what it would be like to put an extra $1,400 back in your pocket. That's the average savings our customers experience. We can help you drive the same car and pay less every month by lowering your car payment interest rate to as low as 4.67%. At Rate Genius, we can work with you to refinance any car payment. If you qualify, it costs you nothing to find out how you can lower your car payment. To learn more, call this number right now.
800-914-6219. 800-914-6219. 800-914-6219. That's 800-914-6219.
In the U.S., a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds. Protect your car. Remove valuables. Roll up your windows, lock your doors, and take your keys. Report crime to the police. And if it's insurance fraud, contact NICB and reportinsuranceFraud.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Now we'll look at the front pages. What's making news around the world? A daily roundup of today's headlines on Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom King, Paul Sweeney, and Alexis Christoforous.
Good morning, everyone across America, the way you choose to listen to us. Good morning on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. Alexis Christoforous has subscribed to Bloomberg Podcast. So she can hear herself do the newspapers. What do you have?
All right, I want to start with this one from Reuters, but to be honest, a lot of different outlets have this story today. Investors slamming the SEC's plan to remove the best price rule. So this is the rule that makes sure investors get the best price trading stocks. So, for example, if GM can be bought on one exchange for $80 and then you can get it for a penny less on the other exchange, the rule means the orders to buy GM stock would get sent to the venue displaying the cheaper price. So the SEC says scrapping the rule would simplify market structure and reduce costs for market participants. They argue that the rule has caused some unintended consequences, including the proliferation of tiny exchanges, no less than 18 now, competing for business. But you can imagine it's receiving a lot of pushback from pension funds, electronic trading giants, Citadel on board, individual investors as well. They're warning that if they do away with the best price rule, it's going to hurt the stock market.
I find, Paul, help me here. I find this to be, and what an honor to know of it, just of this.
trade on the block trading desk at Pan Orbit was to buy 300,000 shares of Pan American Airways for Alliance Capital Management. That took me a full day to do it.
And what was it?
Oh, I made $11,000 doing it, which was great. My boss said, here's the first trade, don't lose my money. I said, I made $11,000 trading a trust. And then like a month later, I could do that trade in about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know how they do it today.
It's a big reason why there aren't a lot of people on the floor of the stock exchange anymore.
I want to make 20 phone calls to get that done. Okay.
All right, we are going to make a hard pivot now, guys, and things I never thought I'd say on the air. But there is a beverage brand called Liquid Death and the indie beer brand Garage Beer. They launched a campaign calling for your pee, your urine. Yeah. They want to help AI data centers cool down without using large amounts of water. This is from Adweek, so this is actually a joke. Please do not go pee in a bottle and try to send it to them. It features Garage Beer co-owner Jason Kelsey, you know, from former Philadelphia Eagles player. He is in this ad. You have to watch it. You can watch it on YouTube. Collecting his urine in a bottle and singing a song about sending pee to data centers. And look, these brands say it's a humorous way to actually deal with a controversial topic and to connect with people on it. Because 7 out of 10 Americans oppose data centers being built in their communities. They come from Siberia. They can cost you $7,000, and you have to groom them every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep. Alexis, thank you so much. Alexis Christophers, the news. A giant has died. You know him. You have everything he's ever done memorized. The most underrated drummer in all of modern music. Frank Beard of ZZ Top at 77 has died. This is his classic shuffle.
KXLY Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, a KXLY brand.
More information today about the conditions on U.S. Navy warships. A destroyer in the South China Sea lost all power, leaving sailors without water, toilets, or air conditioning. We're breaking down what's happening on these warships and what the Pentagon is saying about it.
And it's another warm day, but it's going to get a whole lot hotter before the weekend in your first alert forecast. The Spokane fires forced more than 60,000 people from their homes. Now, local law enforcement sharing what they learned. Sheriff John Knowles tells us what went right during the evacuation and what needs to change if this happens again. Live on KXLY Plus and 4 News Now, you're watching Good Morning Northwest. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Rob King.
And I'm Natalie Grant. Today is Wednesday, August 19th. Let's get right on over to meteorologist Matt Grace. Taking a look at that first alert forecast for us. Matt, yesterday it felt really warm out there.
Yeah, it has been a little warm, certainly compared to what we've seen so far here this August. This will feel by the end of the week fairly cool by comparison. As you can see, more mild conditions out there this morning as we get up and get our day started. We are in the upper 60s in Spokane, low 60s for airway height, 63 in Coeur d'Alene, 50s in places like Deer Park and Athol. In fact, Deer Park really our coolest spot by far this morning in the local area, sitting at 51. For this afternoon, Not much of a change here in our temperatures. In fact, maybe just slightly cooler than the last couple of days as we end up right between kind of 88 and 90 degrees. Best chance of the 90s is going to be around eastern parts of Spokane, Millwood area, Spokane Valley, and downtown Coeur d'Alene. Everybody else going to be in that kind of 87 to 89 range, some of those higher benches around the area. Looking across the inland northwest as a whole here, we continue to see areas of moderate air quality, some pockets of good as we south, and then the unhealthy air from that smoke from those fires in the Cascades further north, places like Tabasco, Omak, Oroville, Republican, unhealthy air here this morning, parts of the Methow Valley to the north and to the west of Twisp as well. And then we have unhealthy for sensitive groups there around Chewelah, Chelan, and Colville and other parts of northern Stevens County as we start our day. We are going to be seeing hotter weather for our days ahead, followed by some changes for the weekend coming up in your forecast.
Matt, thanks. Well, new concerns are now coming to light about the conditions on Navy warships that are supporting the war on Iraq.
And it comes as South Korea confirms its joint military exercises with the U.S. are being cut short. ABC's Karen Waugh in D.C. with the details.
There's growing concern the Navy is stretched too thin. After reports of deplorable conditions and sailor suicide attempts on the USS Lincoln, we're now learning about a power failure on a ship sent to relieve it. Overnight, South Korea confirms its joint military exercises with the U.S. are being cut short. The 11-day drills typically prepare soldiers for a North Korean attack. They'll now end 6 days earlier than planned, per Trump's orders, citing his relationship with dictator Kim Jong-un. It comes as the Navy faces new scrutiny, following the news that another destroyer, the USS Benfold, had a major breakdown in the South China Sea. The 300 sailors on board reportedly had limited drinking water, no toilets, and no air conditioning after the ship suffered a complete loss of power. It was later towed to the Philippines for repairs. The Benfold was part of a fleet heading to the Middle East to relieve the USS Lincoln, whose crew has been at sea for a record 268 days as part of the war on Iran. The Lincoln's 9-month deployment was marked by broken plumbing, as well as food and supply shortages. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denying there's a problem.
We make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
The power failure on the USS Benfold happened 3 weeks ago, a Navy spokesperson says, due to a generator issue, adding no crew members were injured. It's not clear why the Pentagon waited so long to disclose this. Karen Waugh, ABC News, Washington.
Spokane Valley City Council has passed a new speed limit resolution aimed to make streets safer for kids to get back to school.
3 major streets are affected here near 6 different schools. The first is along Park Road near Seth Woodard and Orchard Centered Elementary Schools. The speed limit will be lowered there from 35 miles an hour down to 30. It also lowers the speed limit along Pines Road near University High School, Horizon Middle School, and Chester Elementary School. And finally, the stretch of Broadway from Adams to Sullivan near Progress Elementary. While speed limits are dropped to 20 miles an hour during school hours, reporters say reduced speed will help create more attempting drivers around the schools during all hours of the day. And city officials say that these changes could be the first step in a larger plan to reduce speed limits all across the city. Well, during the Spokane complex fires, more than 60,000 people were evacuated from their homes.
It's a level local law enforcement say has never been seen on that scale before. And now, 3 weeks later, the Spokane Police Department and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office are reflecting on what went well and what can be improved upon. One improvement is dealing with the congestion caused by the amount of people evacuated. Many people say it took them more than an hour to get out.
It is important that we get to every door and we get everybody out as possible, as soon as possible. But in more populated, more densely populated areas, let's pay some attention to some of these traffic pinch points and see if we can't get somebody down there.
While there are always things that can go better, law enforcement says there are things they're proud of, including the coordination among all the different agencies involved and the ability to adapt during this unprecedented event.
Spokane police say they arrested a man suspected of burglarizing a home in an evacuation zone during the fires. And city said the person living in 5 Mile reported their house had been burglarized between August 1st and August 8th while they were evacuated. The person was able to provide video footage, which police then used to identify the suspect. Lawrence Moss was arrested and booked in the Spokane County Jail for residential burglary. SD says during the evacuations, once it was safe to do so, officers were deployed to show a police presence and identify any suspicious activity. During that deployment, 2 other men were arrested for criminal trespassing. Good morning, Northwest time right now is 5:06.
Let's check back in with meteorologist Matt Gray this morning, and we're noticing it. The sun rising a little later and later.
I know. So, the dark hour here, the 5 o'clock hour in this program. As you look over the Moses Lake Airport, so you can see a little bit of the haziness in the background. Still watching some smoke in our northern counties, but really, over the next few days, it is all about the heat that's going to be building quite a bit as we go through your forecast coming up.
And are you sending your child to school for the first time? The advice Spokane educators have for that and how to ease the transition coming up.
They're called the Dirty Workers, and they're making a real difference in Spokane. Volunteers with Samaritan's Purse are helping families who lost everything in the wildfires sift through the rubble to find what matters most. Hear how one family is finding relief through their help. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Hi, I'm Bo, owner of Parisian Rugs and Rug Spa, Spokane's home for the finest rugs from across the world. This month is our annual fall sale, 10 to 70% off thousands of handmade rugs. Whether you're looking for a statement piece for the entryway or a roadside area, this is one of the best opportunities of the year to bring home an exceptional rug. Come see us during the annual fall sale. Parisian Rugs and Rug Spa. No shortcuts and none fine. Give Back Northwest. Our community's catalyst for positive change. Join us in making a difference by helping those in need, giving back to the community, and being part of something bigger than yourself. From supporting local causes to volunteering your time, every contribution counts. Together, we can create a brighter future. Give Back Northwest. We're helping people and building stronger communities go hand in hand. Sponsored by Residential Home Solutions.
Welcome back to Times 510. Here's a look at what's new on Good Morning Northwest. Officials say a U.S. Air Force flight to Antarctica turned back due to a missile warning from Russia.
New Zealand Civil Aviation Authority says the plane took off from Christchurch and then returned to that airport. It says Russia's State Air Traffic Management Corporation had alerted it to a planned missile launch. The CAA says it created a potential hazard to international airspace, and that's why it issued what's called a notice to airmen, according to the agency. Now, flights from Christchurch to Antarctic bases are common at this time of year.
The costs of oil and gas are up slightly from yesterday's prices. The U.S. benchmark WTI crude fluctuating just more than $85 a barrel. Brent hovering above the $90 mark. Deutsche Bank analysts say traders are increasingly pessimistic about the Strait of Hormuz reopening. An Iranian official says that won't happen until the U.S. meets the conditions of June's Memorandum of Understanding. President Trump says no talks with Tehran are scheduled for now.
Well, some outshine fruit bars distributed nationwide are now being recalled amid concerns over potential contamination with glass. The recall was prompted by reports of glass in these fruit bars, which are a popular frozen dessert marketed as containing real fruit or fruit juice. Now, parent company Dreyer's says that the 5 flavors of 6-count packs are affected are the strawberry, watermelon, grape, tangerine, and black cherry. So far, no illnesses or injuries have been reported.
In yesterday's elections, Ryan Elijah wins the Republican primary for Florida's 7th congressional district. He beat incumbent U.S. Representative Corey Mills and secured the GOP nod for the election in November. It's one of several closely watched races ahead of November's midterms. We'll have a closer look at more election results in about 20 minutes.
And now let's plan your day. So 61 degrees here. We are going to have what overall, yes, it's a little warm out there, but it is going to be a pretty decent looking Wednesday across the region. A nice summer day. Temperatures in the upper 80s for most places, although we likely will touch 90 degrees briefly here in the Spokane area. Mild and hazy for tonight ahead of some hotter weather for the end of the week.
Well, people who lost their homes in the wildfires are now getting a helping hand from a group called Samaritan's Purse. About 50 to 60 volunteers from around the country are in town helping people sift through the rubble. They're looking for any heirlooms or other items that may have survived the fire. For one family, it helps take off some of the burden of themselves and give them closure.
And there's no pretty way to say it or glamorous way to go about it. They're doing the dirty work that I had been thinking about having to do myself for so long, and they're doing it without hesitation.
Samaritan's Purse plans to be in Spokane now for about 3 weeks, or perhaps even longer, depending on the need. They say they want to help as many families as possible. And you've seen, there's people that have found rings, there's people that have found precious heirlooms, and just to sift through all that and find little pieces of what's left.
Right, especially something like that. It's going to take time to do, and having more hands to help is great.
It's always helpful. Your time right now is 5:13.
Well, many Spokane students start school in a week. It's the first day of school ever. These simple steps parents can take to make the transition easier after the break.
And here's a live look at the start to your Wednesday morning. The sun's just starting to come up in the sky here in Riverfront Park. Thanks for picking up today with us here on Good Morning Northwest. We'll see you right after the break.
This is the Bloomberg Business of Entertainment Report. Netflix is coming for one of YouTube's biggest stars. Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw says the streaming service is in talks with First We Feast, which owns Hot Ones, the show where celebrities open up while eating spicy chicken wings.
I was warned not to let it touch my lips. It's all over my lips.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And like lip balm.
Netflix has developed a framework for deals with a lot of these top creators where it pays them millions of dollars a year and they post their shows on YouTube and Netflix at the same time. And they also get the library.
The one issue, advertising. Netflix currently asks YouTube creators to strip brand integrations from the videos before